Hello, my name is Brad, and I am a snob. I believe that all beverages should be served ice cold. I believe fingernails should be kept impeccably clean, and I believe that all the hardware I use should be amazingly designed. What's that? Why, yes, I am an Apple fan. In fact, I have an iMac. It's a design that's been fresh and cutting edge since 2007. Apple is arguably the best product design company in the world. Every year we see amazing products come out of there, but their tentpole products, their most important core products, are feeling a little bit stale. I get called an Apple fanboy around these parts quite a bit, but there's a reason why I like Apple products. It's because they're good. When I get a new Surface device or something like the new Samsung Galaxy Flex notebook, I have this rush of excitement. These just look cool. They're fresh and they're exciting, and when I look at them, I think, man, would that replace my MacBook? Could this be my daily driver? No, they can't. They don't run Mac OS. I can't use this every day. But it's got the shiny aluminum with the royal blue. No, I'm not going through this again. Remember the Surface Studio? It almost crushed my cat. I'm not a big fan of that cat. No, I'm not gonna do it. This was not the feeling I had when I first saw the MacBook Pro 16. I mean, I like it. I think it's a very good computer. I can tick off the things about it that they've improved upon that I enjoy. But what did I feel when I first saw it? Oh, thank God they fixed the keyboard. There was no sense of new there. There was no sense of excitement there. I got it because I needed it, not because I wanted it. I want to be clear, what I'm talking about here in this video is the visual designs, the aesthetics, the look of the product, not how often they're updating. I'm not talking about a spec bump every year or 18 months or a gradual evolution. I'm talking about, what do these products look like? The type of things that make you stop, look at a product and say, what is that? That is cool. These are the type of things that appealed to me the most when I switched over to Apple products years ago. My first MacBook was a 2008 MacBook Pro, and when everybody else I knew was hauling around these giant plastic things, I had this slick, beautiful, unibodied aluminum MacBook Pro. I could sit down across from a potential client and say, I'm a designer. You can trust me. Even though that literally never worked, it still felt like the essence of Apple's brand. It had a sense of luxury to it. And sure, the MacBook, laptops in general, even the iMac all-in-ones, they're mature products. They don't need to change all the time. You could just iteratively improve on them year over year, which is exactly what Apple has done. But just because you can just iteratively improve on them every year doesn't mean you should. That 12-year-old MacBook Pro sure looks a lot like my new MacBook Pro. Look at cars. A Civic is a Civic. It is a mature product. It doesn't need to change. It could just incrementally upgrade. But they change it up every few years. That way they can say, you can trust me. I have a Honda Civic. That literally never works either, but it does sell more Civics. Car manufacturers understand that yes, buying a car is a very practical thing, but it's also a psychological thing. Customers need to feel good about that new purchase. If it feels new, if it looks new, it fits the bill. It also helps soften the blow of dropping 20 grand on a Civic. And that's why car manufacturers do it. That's why they're changing their designs up every couple years. The psychology of buying experiences has always been something that I think Apple has done extremely well. Even though a laptop isn't as expensive as a car, it's still a significant price and something consumers want to feel good about. It feels good to get something nice that you can show off, something that looks new and fresh. You're not getting a ThinkPad, you're getting a Mac. Let's take a look at that aluminum 2008 MacBook Pro I was so proud of. From a distance, it's not that much different than what Apple has today. Aluminum unibody design, black little chiclet keys. In the last 12 years, Apple has taken an iterative approach to the MacBook Pro design. The trackpad has gotten much larger. On most models, the F row of keys has been replaced by a touch bar. They've removed the alphabet soup of ports along the side and replaced them with just USB-C Thunderbolt ports instead. We can all debate about the functionality of that move, but it does look a lot cleaner. And it's not just the Pro. All of Apple's laptops have fallen into a similar design language. Look at the amount of experimentation in the last 12 years in the laptop world compared to the 12 years before it. You have the iPad Air, you have some weird colored clamshells, you have some really different looking stuff. The 16-inch MacBook is my third MacBook Pro, and each one has been better than the one before. But you really have to be a computer person to tell that I got a new laptop. That's what 12 years of incremental updates do. It really dulls the emotional impact of getting a new product. Not only that, but you look like everybody else who's using a MacBook Pro. We look like a flock of sheep. Oh, that's why people keep saying that in the comments. It's not just the MacBook. The iMac has had several interesting iterations, from its presentation in 1998 as the candy-colored all-in-one that would stand out in a world of beige boxes, to the funky dome things during Apple's gleaming white plastic phase. It was in 2007 when we saw the introduction of the sleek aluminum thing that we know and love today. Although you could say that there was a significant change in the design around 2009 when they made it wider. But after that, it's pretty much identical to what's out now. The iPhone is what's gotten most of Apple's attention in that time. Since 2009, it's been Apple's best-selling product. It's made them the most money. But I think we've also started to see that incrementalness of change start to creep in starting around the iPhone 6. The biggest change since the iPhone 6 was definitely the iPhone 10, which was the introduction of the wider screen area and the notch. While Android devices feel like they're making leaps forward and trying different things, Apple has their notch and they're sticking with it. To me, the notch always felt like a placeholder. Like they wanted to go full screen, but they didn't know how to get rid of that top-level camera. The notch was a compromise. But here we are 3 years later, and that placeholder has become the norm. I don't blame Apple for not jumping on every trend of foldable phones or pop-up cameras, but there is a lot of room for experimentation between those extremes and what they have now. I don't think the MacBook or the iMac needs an overhaul every single year. And there are some pitfalls to changing your designs every year just because you can change your designs. One thing I will say for Apple is they have a very strong uniform design language. You can look at any Apple product and it feels like it exists within the Apple ecosystem. That's not something you can say about Samsung. The Galaxy phone doesn't look like the Galaxy Tab, which certainly doesn't look like the Galaxy Flex laptop. Apple still rules when it comes to consistency, and maybe that's the point. Maybe that's what Apple wants to be, consistent. They no longer want to be the brand you want to date, they want to be the brand you marry. And I don't blame them, that may be smart business, but I wish we could rekindle some of that old excitement we used to have. Thank you for watching. What do you think of Apple's designs? Do you think they're getting a little bit tired? Let me know down below in the comments. Thank you for watching, and I'll talk to you in a couple of days.